Finally, Arsenal signed a striker.
They have signed Viktor Gyökeres from Sporting.
They had everything. Solid center backs, a top-class central midfielder, a magician on the right wing. But there was always one thing missing, a true striker.
They knew at the start of the season that they were short in centre forward.
Someone who could score goals for fun. Someone who could be the final piece of the puzzle. They tried different players, changed systems, waited for someone to step up, but no one really fit the role. Now, that has changed, because Arsenal didn't just sign anyone. They went out and got one of the best goal scorers in the world.
He's a Premier League player. He's a player that suits the Premier League. He has every attributes to be a Premier League player. Strong, big, quick, above all. Most importantly, goal scoring.
Welcome, Viktor Gyökeres.
How do you explain that Europe doesn't know you because you are so talented?
They don't?
Need a picture, fam.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
There is no attacker who has been in better form in Europe in the past few years than Gyokeres. In the 2025 season, he scored 64 goals and got 13 assists in all competitions as he led the line for Sporting. If Amorim had stayed at Sporting, who knows? He might have even hit 60 goals. He was scoring in the Portuguese League, the Champions League, Portuguese Cup. No matter the competition, he was banging in goal. But to some, there were still doubts surrounding him. After all, he wasn't the first striker to put up crazy stats in the Portuguese League. How often have we seen players move away from that league and then never replicate their great form again? But Gyokeres isn't like your typical strikers. Firstly, the speed and strength that he has automatically makes him better than the likes of Jonas, Dost, and Jackson Martinez. He's also better on the ball and more clinical than Darwin Núñez ever was. But the main difference is that Gyokeres has been scoring goals way before he even got to Portugal. His career started in Sweden, playing at Bromma Pojkarna. Gyokeres joined their youth academy in 2013 at the age of 14. His progression through Bromma's youth ranks was swift, leading to his senior debut in 2015. On the 20th of August 2015, Gyokeres made an immediate impact by scoring 2 goals in a 3-0 win over IF Sylvia in the Svenska Cupen. This performance showcased his potential as a forward, what he could do, how he could punish teams. In 2016, Bromma was competing in the 3rd tier of Swedish football. Gyokeres contributed to 7 goals, playing a pivotal role in their promotion to the 2nd division of Swedish football. He later helped Bromma into the semi-finals of the Svenska Cup when he scored the winning goal in the quarterfinals against Elfsborg. Gyokeres ended the season with 13 goals in 29 league appearances, including a hat-trick on the final day as Bromma secured promotion to the Allsvenskan, Sweden's top flight, as champions. So you see, despite nobody knowing about him or talking about him, he was still scoring goals. One club, however, had taken notice, and that was Brighton. Gyokeres had signed a 2.5-year contract with them in September of 2017, but didn't officially join the club until January of 2018. In the beginning, he was training with the under-23 squad, but he showed immediately his potential by scoring 11 goals in just 12 appearances for them. He would end up making his senior debut for the club on the 28th of August, starting in a 1-0 EFL Cup defeat to Southampton. On the 26th of January 2019, Gyokeres made his FA Cup debut, coming on as a sub in a 0-0 draw at home to West Bromwich Albion. In an effort to get Gyokeres more first-team football, Brighton sent him on loan to German second-tier side St. Pauli for the 2019-2020 season. He scored his first goal for St. Pauli on the 29th of September in a 2-0 home victory over SV Sandhausen. He ended the season with 7 goals for them. After returning to Brighton, he finally got his first goal for the Seagulls, scoring against Portsmouth in the EFL Cup. But Brighton still felt he was very raw, so they sent him out on loan again, this time to Swansea for the remainder of the 2020-2021 season. He actually ended up scoring his first goal for the club in January of 2021 in a 2-0 win over Stevenage, which sent Swansea through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Funny enough though, he was actually recalled by Brighton just a few days later. At this point, he had moved around so much that nobody knew how good he could become. It was actually his time at Coventry that really helped him develop his game, as he was finally in an environment where he was getting consistent playing time. In his initial loan stint at Coventry, he only got 3 goals, his first goal being in a 2-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday. But he really began to get into good form when Coventry signed him on a permanent deal. Gyokeres scored in Coventry's opening game of the 2021-2022 championship season, putting Coventry back level in an eventual 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest. Gyokeres ended that season scoring 17 goals in 45 league appearances. In the next season, he got even better, being named the Player of the Month in November after scoring 4 goals in 4 games, leading Coventry to 4 straight wins in that period. With 3 goals and 3 assists, he won the same award for the second time in March of 2023. Scoring 40 goals and providing 19 assists over 2 seasons, his impressive performances in the championship had caught the eyes of Sporting, who made him their most expensive signing in their history, paying €20 million plus $4 million in variables. His time at Coventry had shown just how good he can be. Everyone saw his strength, pace, and goal-scoring ability. It was also clear that Gyokeres could get so much better, but to get to that level, he had to go to a bigger team. With his move to Sporting, Gyokeres was now in one of Europe's top leagues. There were more eyes on him, more responsibility, but he was also surrounded with better players. He showed immediately that Sporting had made the right investment by making a remarkable debut on August 12, 2023, where he scored twice in a 3-2 victory over FC Vizela, showcasing his goal-scoring ability right from the beginning. In his European competition debut, he scored in a 2-1 win against Sturm Graz in the Europa League. Unfortunately, the next month in the competition, he was shown his first ever red card in his club career just 7 minutes into the match. But he did redeem himself in the next month by scoring a hat-trick on his Taça da Liga debut. Later in the year, he even began to showcase his playmaking ability, getting 4 assists in a 5-1 win over Estoril. Between September to January, Gyokeres scored 13 goals and provided 6 assists, being named the league's Player of the Month and Forward of the Month for 5 consecutive months. On the 29th of April, with Sporting 2 goals down, he scored a brace in the 87th and 88th minute to salvage a draw away against Porto, ensuring that Sporting stayed at the top of the league table, 5 points ahead of rivals Benfica. At the end of the month, Gyokeres was named the league's Player of the Month and Forward of the Month again. Sporting ended up mathematically securing their 20th Primeira Liga title on the 5th of May, following Benfica's defeat. And Gyokeres won the Bola de Prata award after he finished his first season at the club as the league's top goal scorer with 29 goals, scoring a brace on Sporting's final league match of the season. He was also named the best player of the league and was included in the best 11. Anyone that thought he was a one-season wonder has been silenced, as his form has continued into the 2025 season. He scored 7 times in his first 4 league matches in August, which included a hat-trick in a 5-0 win over Firenze. In the process, he became the league's highest top scorer in the 21st century after 4 match weeks. Gyokeres was also named the league's Player of the Month and Forward of the Month for the month of August. As the competition got better, Gyokeres' performances even got better, with him scoring in his Champions League debut as Sporting beat Lille 2-0. Gyokeres was awarded the man of the match. But despite all of these achievements and performances, it was really the Manchester City game that introduced Gyokeres to the entire world. Everyone was watching the game to get a look at United's new manager, Ruben Amorim. But the biggest talk of the match after was Gyokeres outshining Haaland. The Swedish striker racked up 97 goals in just over 8,400 minutes for Sporting, so essentially 97 goals in 93 full matches. He won 2 league titles and 2 Silver Ball top scorers. The man was outscoring everyone from Haaland to Mbappe to Harry Kane. In the 2025 season alone, he got 54 goals and 13 assists in all competitions. He was scoring everywhere from the Champions League to the Portuguese League to even Nations League. Despite Sweden being knocked out early, he still remained the top goal scorer in the competition. But a lot of people still doubt him. After all, he's not the only player to look really good in the Portuguese league. Jackson Martinez, Jonas, Darwin Núñez are all strikers that dominated in the Portuguese league, yet they never replicated that form again. And the biggest reason that Arsenal fans have doubts over this guy is because of the way he gets his goals. If we look at this data from The Athletic, you can see that the majority of his runs without the ball are in behind. He doesn't come deep to connect with the play, instead he's looking to be direct. He wants the ball in spaces in behind, in the wide channels, so that he can sprint onto it, completely bully the defender, and score. If you look at his goals, they all kind of look the same. He is just too fast and too strong for anyone to stop him. It was the same situation in the Champions League when he destroyed Man City, so it's not a Portuguese league thing. According to Skill Corner, he made 85 sprints in behind the opposition defensive line in 2025, with each run being at an average pace of 25 kilometers per hour or more. That was more than double of any other striker in the division. Look at this goal against Boavista. Gyokeres receives a pass in the left channel, his favorite position. He's isolated 1v1 with the defender. He can go either way in this situation, but chooses to chop into his right, and while his touch is slightly heavy, he contorts his body to make sure he gets over the shot and puts it right into the bottom right hand corner. The fact that Gyokeres loves the left channel is a great sign for Arsenal fans, because in the 2025 season, only 32.9% of their attacking touches came in the left third. The right side was dominated by Saka and Odegaard, while the left side was more empty than Bonnie Blue's brain. The counter argument to this, however, is that the time and space that Gyokeres takes advantage of in the Portuguese league is not available in the Premier League. And Gyokeres isn't the intricate type of striker who checks in for the ball and creates these tiki-taka triangles. But even if he got 50% less goals in England, he would still be a massive asset. A 20-goal striker would help Arsenal out so much. Just having a direct outlet would be a massive plus. His work rate and aggression would give Arteta another tool to use in order to break down teams. I mean, look at what this guy was doing to Sturm Graz in the Champions League. Gyokeres receives the ball in the left channel, rolls his man, then drives past the 3 recovering defenders, dribbles by the keeper, and scores. A goal created from nothing with none of his teammates around him. You're telling me that opportunities like this won't arise in the Premier League, in the Champions League? I also believe that the presence of Gyokeres would actually make Arsenal a better team in transition. In the 2025 season, Arsenal were towards the bottom when it came to converting possession regains into fast attacks. So Gyokeres will at least give them an option for a direct outlet when they do win the ball back. He can barge his way through the defenders in a way that nobody else on this Arsenal team can. Look at what he was doing for Sporting during counterattacks. Just his sheer presence dragged a center back into midfield, which opened up the space for his other teammates. Then when he does face a low block, it's fine, because he has good movement in the box. A lot of Arsenal fans focus on the fact that Gyokeres doesn't score a lot of headers. It's a bit shocking for people who have never watched him play because he's this big guy who's built like a unit, but he doesn't score headers. Having said that though, that doesn't mean that he's not good in the box. Here he is battling in the box with the Chavez center back Gyokeres. The ball gets played into Gyokeres, who pins Gyokeres back. He lets the ball roll across his body and finishes it with his left foot on the swivel. So no, he's not Kai Havertz in the air, but he has ways of punishing teams when he's in the box. And that's good because in the 2025 season, only 4 teams attempted more crosses from open play than Arsenal. However, those crosses never really turned into chances, but that can easily be changed with the presence of Gyokeres. A quarter of the Swedes' touches in the 2025 season actually came inside the penalty area. So yes, he's at his best in open space, but his energy, his aggression, his anticipation in the box also allowed him to be a poacher. Now, I'm not saying he's as good as Haaland, but they were saying the same things about the Norwegian striker when he first came to City. He was using his brute force and strength to dominate teams in the Bundesliga, and everyone kept saying that he won't be able to replicate that form in the Premier League where there's less space. Well, the Norwegian simply adjusted his game and used his freakish physicality to outmuscle defenders to score. Gyokeres just has to do the same thing. He's gonna have to find a way to scrap defenders and find those little bits of space in the box to punish teams, which to be honest he's already used to doing because he did it in England when he was at Coventry. The man has scored everywhere he has gone and offers Arsenal something different. If the Gunners want to add some silverware to their trophy cabinet, they're gonna need a striker like Gyokeres. While Arsenal need a striker, you need a jersey. Get yourself an Arsenal jersey at buygamejerseys.com and use code PETTALKS at checkout. It comes as no surprise that Gyokeres finally got his big move. Every club at one point had wanted him, but it was Arsenal who won the race for a signature. Their defense was solid as a rock, their midfield had improved drastically with the arrival of Rice. They just needed someone up front who could convert chances to goals. And when it comes to scoring, there are few players better than Gyokeres. Arteta has a plan for him, and to see what that plan is, you have to check out this video right here.